Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Yende. Let me ask you a simple question. When was the last time you experienced true silence? Not just the absence of conversation, not just turning off your phone for 5 minutes. I mean, genuine silence. No notifications, no traffic, no television, no background music, no podcasts, no emails, no constant stimulation. For most people living in modern cities, that moment is surprisingly rare. And yet, neuroscience is beginning to reveal something remarkable. Silence may not simply feel relaxing. Silence may be biologically therapeutic. In fact, scientists are increasingly discovering that specific auditory environments, including silence itself and carefully engineered soundscapes, can influence heart rate, stress hormones, brain activity, sleep quality, recovery, and potentially even long-term longevity. But here's where the story becomes even more fascinating. Artificial intelligence is now entering the field, creating personalized sound environments designed to regulate the nervous system in real time. Could sound become medicine? Could AI-generated soundscapes lower cortisol? Could specific frequencies accelerate recovery? Could the future of stress management arrive through your headphones? Today, we're exploring the science of silence, sound, cortisol, and the emerging field of AI-driven auditory therapy, the hidden cost of modern noise. Most people think of noise as an annoyance, a distraction, an inconvenience. But your nervous system experiences noise very differently. To the brain, unexpected noise often represents uncertainty, and uncertainty consumes biological resources. Even when you're not consciously paying attention, your brain is constantly monitoring the environment. Traffic, conversations, notifications, construction, television, background chatter, each sound demands processing. Each sound requires attention, and attention has a metabolic cost. The brain never truly ignores noise, it filters it, and filtering requires energy. Your brain was not designed for constant stimulation. For most of human history, silence was normal. Natural sounds dominated. Wind, birds, rain, flowing water, ocean waves, leaves moving in the forest. The modern auditory environment is entirely different. Today we live inside an artificial acoustic ecosystem. Notifications, engines, machines, screens, voices, advertising, media. The brain evolved for intermittent stimulation, not continuous stimulation, and increasingly researchers believe chronic noise exposure contributes to chronic stress. The cortisol connection. Now let's talk about cortisol. Cortisol often gets a bad reputation, but cortisol isn't the enemy, it's a survival hormone. Cortisol helps us wake up, focus, respond to challenges, generate energy, adapt to stress. The problem occurs when cortisol remains elevated for too long. Chronic elevation can contribute to poor sleep, impaired recovery, insulin resistance, weight gain, inflammation, anxiety, burnout, cardiovascular disease, accelerated biological aging. In other words, the goal is not eliminating cortisol, the goal is regulating it, and surprisingly, sound may play an important role in that regulation. The brain responds to sound before you think. One of the most remarkable facts about neuroscience is this: the auditory system has privileged access to the nervous system. Sound reaches emotional centers extraordinarily quickly. Before conscious analysis, before rational thought, before deliberate interpretation. This is why a baby instantly responds to a parent's voice, why a loud bang triggers a startle response, why music can instantly alter mood, why certain sounds create calm and others create tension. Sound doesn't merely inform the brain, it influences it. What is a soundscape? A soundscape is more than music. It is an engineered auditory environment. It may include rain, ocean waves, wind, forest sounds, ambient tones, white noise, pink noise, brown noise, binaural beats, AI-generated frequencies. The goal is not entertainment. The goal is physiological regulation. Modern soundscapes are increasingly designed using neuroscience principles rather than artistic preferences, and artificial intelligence is accelerating this process. Can AI create relaxation? Imagine wearing a smart ring. The ring continuously measures heart rate variability, stress levels, recovery, sleep quality, resting heart rate, respiratory patterns. Now imagine an AI system analyzing this data in real time. The moment stress increases, the system generates an adaptive soundscape, not generic music, not a random playlist, but a personalized auditory intervention designed specifically for your physiology. This is where AI-driven sound therapy is heading, toward precision recovery, toward personalized nervous system regulation, toward biologically adaptive sound. The science of binaural beats, one of the most controversial and fascinating areas of auditory neuroscience, involves binaural beats. The concept is simple. Two slightly different frequencies are presented separately to each ear. The brain perceives the difference as a rhythmic beat. Researchers have proposed that this may influence brainwave activity, potentially affecting attention, relaxation, meditation, sleep, stress response. The evidence remains mixed. Some studies show benefits, others show minimal effects. but the broader idea remains compelling. The brain appears capable of synchronizing with external rhythms, a process known as entrainment. Neural entrainment occurs when external rhythms influence brain activity. Music does this, breathing does this, drumming does this, even walking can do this. The nervous system naturally synchronizes with rhythmic patterns. Researchers are increasingly exploring whether specific sound frequencies can help encourage relaxation, parasympathetic activation, sleep onset, deep sleep, emotional regulation, stress recovery. The goal isn't mind control. The goal is supporting biological rhythms already present within the body. What wearables are revealing? This is where modern technology becomes incredibly exciting. Historically, measuring stress required laboratory equipment. Today, wearable devices can continuously monitor heart rate variability, sleep architecture, resting heart rate, recovery metrics, respiratory rate, stress scores, autonomic balance. For the first time, researchers can observe how sound influences physiology outside the laboratory. And the findings are fascinating. Certain auditory environments appear associated with improved HRV, reduced perceived stress, improved sleep quality, enhanced recovery, reduced sympathetic activation. The body literally responds to sound, the role of silence. Interestingly, one of the most powerful interventions may not be sound, it may be silence. Researchers have observed that periods of silence can activate brain regions associated with restoration and reflection. Silence allows the nervous system to disengage from constant processing, to recover, to reset, to restore attentional resources. In some studies, silence appears more physiologically calming than certain types of music. Perhaps the most powerful sound is sometimes the absence of sound. Can sound improve longevity? Now we arrive at the big question. Can sound increase lifespan? Directly? Probably not. Indirectly? Possibly. Because sound influences stress, sleep, recovery, emotional regulation, autonomic balance, and all of these influence long-term health. The path may look like this: better sound environment, lower stress, improved sleep, improved recovery, reduced inflammation, improved cardiovascular function, better long-term health outcomes. Sound may not be a longevity intervention by itself, but it may support many of the systems that influence longevity. The OXYZEN perspective at OXYZEN Health Intelligence, we believe the future of wellness will become increasingly personalized. Not generic meditation, not generic music, not generic relaxation, personalized interventions driven by real-time biological data. Imagine, your smart ring detects rising stress. AI analyzes your physiology. An adaptive soundscape begins automatically. The goal is not entertainment. The goal is recovery. This represents a shift from reactive healthcare toward proactive nervous system management. Final thought, perhaps one of the greatest challenges of modern life is not a lack of information. It's a lack of silence, a lack of recovery, a lack of space for the nervous system to breathe. As technology becomes more advanced, the irony may be this: the future of health may involve helping us reconnect with something ancient. Stillness, silence, rhythm, restoration. And if artificial intelligence can help us find those states more effectively, then perhaps technology won't move us further from biology. Perhaps it will bring us closer to it. I'm Dr. Yende, and this is OXYZEN Health Intelligence, helping you decode your biology, one insight at a time. Thank you for listening.